Hello and welcome to today's live Q&A. I'm Katie Keith, CEO and founder at Barn2 Plugins.
And I'm Sam Waynes. I'm the video guy. So I manage the YouTube account and all of our branded videos and et cetera, as well as these live streams. So today we're going to be taking your questions, whether you ask those questions live in the comment section. We'll be able to read those questions through our streaming software and answer them live, or we'll also be answering some pre-sent questions that you guys submitted. So we'll be covering a range of our popular plugins today, and we're curious to hear from you guys about what you want to know. So let's get into some company news first.
Okay, so the first piece of news is that we've just introduced discounts for non-profits. I've put a link up on the screen. So if you're a non-profit and can provide us the relevant paperwork to prove that, then we will give you a 15% discount off any of our plugins or the All Access Pass.
Nice.
We've
Yeah.
also added new admin demos this month for our WooCommerce Product Table, WooCommerce Fast Cart, and WooCommerce Protected Categories plugin. So previously, you just had a front-end demo where you could see what the website looks like with the plugin from the customer's perspective. And now, if you click on the demo link on our plugin sales pages, you can also have the choice of launching your own private admin demo so that you can actually play around with the settings and see how it works behind the scenes. We've also done quite a lot of major plugin updates this month. There's loads of them, so I'll just tell you about the main ones. The most interesting one is that we've released WooCommerce Product Table 4.0, and that is a major update, and I will do a quick demo of it now. So I'm going to share my screen and show you the different things that we've added. So first of all, we've added a table builder. Previously, when you created product tables, you basically had to use a shortcode, which could get a bit complicated. I totally understand that not everybody is comfortable using shortcodes. So instead of a shortcode, you can now use a table builder, which I'll show you here. So we've got a new section in the admin product tables, and you can click the add new to launch the table builder. So you can create a name for the table. And the first thing that's really good that we haven't had before is that it lets you choose how you're going to create the table, where you're going to put it on your site. So one option is that you can add it to a page using a block or shortcode, and that makes it much easier to insert onto a normal page. And if you use that option, then you can choose which products to display. All of this was previously only in the shortcode. So if you want to have a table of specific products only, then you can use any of these many options to choose exactly which products to display. And if you choose the other option, which is display on a shop page, then basically you can replace your normal store layouts with the product table layout. And on the next page here, you can choose exactly which shop page templates will use the product table. So you might want to show it on the shop page and your categories, but maybe not on your tag pages, for example, and that's fine. So that's a much easier method to do this. Next, we have the columns page, where you can choose in a much more visual way than before how to add columns. So previously you had to write a comma separated list like image, name, that kind of thing. And here you can add a column. I'll just add a description column here. So you can see there's tons of columns that you can add depending on what attributes and so on you've got for your product. You choose one, click add, and then you've got some more options like whether you want to show the heading. You can change the heading as well that will appear at the top of the table, and tons of stuff. And we're currently working also to add column widths and responsive options to this same screen. And it goes on like that. I'm not going to show you the whole table builder. So it's a much more visual way of creating product tables. The other major change in WooCommerce Product Table 4.0 is that we've added some totals, subtotals and pricing features to the table. So previously you already had a price column like here, you can see in this table. But now when you tick different products, can you see that the button above the table is changing? So I'm going to change the quantity of this. It's going up, add 2 items, add 3 items from 75. I'll add another product and so on. So it lets you see what it's going to cost before you add multiple products to your cart. And this is also new, the select all button. So you can now select all products and add them to the cart all at once. So that's a much quicker way to buy for people that are using it as a bulk order form, which I know is a very popular use case for WooCommerce Product Table. We've also released version 2.4 of WooCommerce Bulk Variations, which now integrates with Yith's Request a Quote plugin. So lots of people wanted to display variations in a grid on the product page, which is what our plugin does. And in addition to that, they wanted to have request a quote buttons underneath, so that, let's say you're buying like a t-shirt with a custom logo on it, you might want to get a quote for the custom printing before you actually order it. So you can use it with Yith's Request a Quote plugin, and then that will work together nicely. We've added some advanced column settings to the table builder in Post Table Pro as well, so you can now set width and responsiveness from there. And finally, we've added new options again to the price formulas in WooCommerce Product Options. So this is the plugin that lets you add extra options to your plugins and set custom pricing using a formula. And now we've added some logical operators to make it easier for you to use the formula, like greater than or equal signs and the usual things like that. So it's just easier, and you can click on a button to add a greater than sign or something like that. The other piece of news is that we will have 3 team members at WordCamp Malaysia on the 22nd and 23rd of November. So if you're thinking of going to WordCamp Malaysia, then feel free to get in touch beforehand, and we can set up a meeting with one of our team members to discuss our plugins, look at demos, talk about working together, a partnership or anything, and anything else that you're interested in.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, Katie. Yeah, and I will be showing a few more demos for those plugins as well. We will be showing a few more demos throughout the call. So, yeah, I see we have Tom already commenting, but no questions so far. So I think we'll just jump into our first plugin. And in this case, we're looking for. Oh, before that, actually, there is a question that was submitted from Tom, was it?
Oh, this is good because this is the same Tom that's in the comments. So
Oh,
he
good.
can clarify exactly what he would like a demo of, hopefully.
Yeah, Tom, so we would like to see your follow-up to this, because what you've listed here is product post table with doc library. That's 3 different plugins that we sell. So in our case, it would be nice to know if you're referring to a specific one of those, or if you just want to compare them all. What I was going to suggest when I saw this comment earlier is to simply check out the uh, admin demos for each one, because each of these plugins have admin demos, right?
Yeah.
So for example, here on the product page, this is just the main product page for document library. If you click on view demo, rather than clicking on the front end demo, you can actually create a short-term website that will allow you to play around with the plugin settings on the back end and view settings on the front end and everything. And that applies to document library as well as product table and and as well as Post Table Pro. So all 3 of those plugins have admin demos that you can launch just from the product page like this. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
So
I don't think he's got any further questions
that's
because
all
he's
right.
forgotten submitting that question,
Mhm.
so that's fine. But any more
Sure, sure.
questions, add them in the chat.
Well, I
We've
may as
got a quick
well. Mhm.
we've got a quick comment from Kimberly saying a great upgrade. So that's
Awesome.
good.
Yeah, our developers have been working very hard, and that is absolutely no lie there. They have been round the clock trying to get all those updates out. And so let's jump into WooCommerce product options then. All right. So this is probably one of our most popular plugins recently, and with good reason, because it makes it really easy to create these kinds of individual options for different products. So in this case, we have radio buttons, so you can choose the size of your bouquet in this case. And then this allows you to select from different products using this image selection. You can also add your own text, like Happy Mother's Day, for example, and you can add on different items as well before adding everything to your total cart. So you could see how just in this one case, we have maybe 3 or 4 different option types. The plugin has 16 different option types that you can add. So
And this is
it,
why it is Kimberly's favorite plugin. Just to add a
yeah,
quick comment there.
yeah, that's why exactly. So we have, for example, the classic color swashes. We also have these image buttons, which you just seen. You can add files, or you can request for customers to add files, and those could be photos or PDFs or anything like that. And yeah, so basically, it just makes it really easy to add everything, and you get a bunch of opportunities for upsells. In this particular product, things like, for example, adding text, "Happy Birthday, Sam," and that adds I think like $14 to the total price, and the photo upload another $10. So you go from a $25 item to a $50 item in no time, and that's just to allow all that customization. So yeah, awesome plugin. And the question about it, do you need to share your screen, Katie?
Yes.
Okay.
So Will has said, it's asked about text and logo overlays on product image. If you've seen this live stream before, then you'll know that this is a new feature that we're currently working on. So I will show you the current state of it. This is unreleased, so that you can see where we are with it. So this is a product page where we've added a file upload field, similar to the one Sam showed you a minute ago. But this is a special file upload field because it allows you to actually preview the text or logo, not text yet, the logo on the product. And I will do that now. So I'm going to add a picture. This isn't a logo, but it could be. This is just a random picture in my downloads folder. So this has taken me to a page that's opened up automatically where I can drag in the picture I just uploaded and put it in a predefined area on the product image. So the bit we're working hardest on at the moment is the back end of this and allowing you to define the printable area, because obviously it would be pointless if someone tried to put the logo somewhere that you can't print. So we need, in the back end, we're looking at best ways to add a definable printable area so that, as you can see, it kind of cleverly hides it and stuff so that you can't even put it in the wrong place. And you can also resize it, you can rotate it, and things like that, and reposition it so you can get it exactly like you want. The other thing that we're still developing is that we've just added a feature to display this on the cart page and the checkout and the order notifications, so that customers can be reassured that their saved design is being pushed through, and so that store owners can receive the uploaded design customized by the customer. So that's what we're going to release shortly. I never give timescales because they're never accurate, but this is an active project. And Will also mentioned that he wanted to upload text. That's not going to be in version 1. Instead, it's going to be in the next version. So we're going to release it with the images first, because we know that is the most popular feature request for this plugin. And it's probably worth mentioning that we're going to release it as an optional add-on for WooCommerce Product Options, so you don't have to buy the live preview at the same time, because I realize that's for a specific use case. So we'll release it with the images that I've just showed you first, and then we'll keep working on it and add things like text, so that when, say, the customer types a custom happy anniversary message, they might then be able to customize how that appears on a bracelet or something like that. So that will be coming later.
Awesome. Thank you, Katie. So yeah, we look forward to that maybe but we don't give timescales. So
Yeah,
yeah,
as soon as we can.
as soon as we can, as soon as it all is working
Yeah,
and we're ready to release it.
but it's a big um, project. So Kimberly has a question about this, so we'll skip to that next. Is there a way to have images without color for engraving? That's interesting. Not currently planned. I wonder how we want that to work. That's an interesting use case. I suppose at the moment you would need to declare on the product page somewhere like if you upload a color image, then this will be shown, this will be printed without color because it's an engraving. And you could also add some notes, like there's a description field for the file upload where you can add like instructions such as we recommend uploading a grayscale or single tone image because that will be used and will allow you to get a more accurate preview. So initially that will be what you'll need to do, and then beyond that we can track it as a feature request. So that basically we need to see how many people want that feature, because that would be quite a lot of development to strip out the color or something like that in the image. Yeah, she says grayscale. So initially we're not planning a way to force grayscale or to change the image, because the customer can do that beforehand. So my recommendation is to add that to the description. We recommend adding a grayscale image. If it's not grayscale, then we will make it grayscale.
All right. Are you happy to jump on to the next one? All right.
Yes.
So we have WooCommerce Bulk Variations next. I'm just bringing that up. Awesome. So this is an example of the plugin in action in probably its most popular use case. You can, first of all, on the back end, the plugin helps you to create and manage multiple different variations and things. As you may know in WooCommerce, once you start to add some variables, then variations or attributes and variables, then the list of variations can get out of hand very quickly, and it can be really hard to update things like images, prices, SKUs, and all of that. So on the back end, the plugin helps you to manage those by grouping things together in terms of their attributes, and then you can edit them all at once. So you can see here, for example, the t-shirts that are extra small are only $15, but as you go up in size, the price increases, and our plugin can help you to manage those things. And then on the front end, as you can see, we have this grid layout. Now, in the case where there's just two attributes, sorry, am I saying the right word? Is it attributes or variables?
The attributes are along the top and across the side.
Yeah.
The
So
variations are the bits in the cells.
yes, yeah. So the attributes, for example, size and color, create this matrix where you can order individual items from each different cell and then add them all to your cart at once. I'll just go to the other demo where there's 4 attributes. And so this is similar to what we saw before, but we have drop down options for the additional attributes. So this is the extra small red hoodie, and we can choose the sleeveless style with a logo. So there's 2 additional attributes that can be chosen from, and then add that to the cart like that. So that is a quick overview of how this plugin works, but obviously this is just one of the main use cases. There are many other ways to utilize this plugin. Like Katie mentioned, there's a new integration with the YIF plugin. What was that one called?
Request a quote.
Request a quote. Okay. I'm not sure if we have that on our demo site yet.
No.
No.
No, I might just do screenshots, but I haven't done that yet.
Yeah. So here's another example. And you can also display the stock levels of anything as well. So that's quite good.
Okay, so we have a question. So I'm looking for a price list of WooCommerce variations like this screenshot, which I will show you. Can you make it like this? So I will show you the screenshot, which is here. So if you look at this screenshot, we need to think about what Sam's just showed us and how WooCommerce bulk variations can do that. Well, firstly, you don't have to show the images that we had in the demo that Sam showed, so you can easily hide the images. So you might have the procedure attribute along the top and the whatever part of the body attributes are going down the columns on the left. So that could be two attributes which you've used to create variations. So that fits very nicely into the plugin. In the individual cells, you've got the price in whichever currency that is. So you set that the currency in your WooCommerce settings. And with the crossed out prices, WooCommerce Bulk Variations supports the sale price feature in WooCommerce, so that if you add a sale price to your product, then the main price will appear crossed out and the sale price will appear alongside, exactly like this. The two ways that Bulk Variations isn't exactly like this screenshot is one, the minus 10%, 15%, and so on tags across the top. You'd probably need to do some custom CSS or something to add something along those lines. And this has a cart icon in every cell. Instead of that, WooCommerce Bulk Variations has a quantity picker where you can choose the quantity and then you add multiple variations to the cart with the add to cart button underneath. So those are the two ways in which it's slightly different, but overall it's pretty close match.
And I will just point out one thing with those discounted prices is that the bulk variations plugin could allow you to apply those discounted prices in a much faster way if you already have those variations created.
You mean in the back end, don't you?
Yeah. Sorry, in the back end. Yeah.
Yeah, we often don't mention that feature of it, which is actually really useful, that in the edit product screen, in the variations tab, you can bulk select, say, all the blue variations or something like that, and then bulk apply lots of changes, like set the image, all the blue images to the same, or add a sale price to each one or something like that. So that is kind of the other half of the plugin that we don't tend to mention so much. So that's a good point.
And there are videos on our YouTube channel about how to edit products in bulk. One that I released earlier this year, I believe. So you can check out our channel and search for bulk edit, and you'll find the video very easily.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. All right. Any more questions about WooCommerce bulk variations?
No, we've got one more plugin that we've got questions about. So before we move on to that, let's say anybody watching this, add any more questions in the comments so that we can get to them before we finish. So start typing now. And also, I'd also like you to comment on the timing of this live stream, because this is an experiment. This is the first one we've ever done in the morning Europe time, in an aim to accommodate different parts of the world. We normally do it at the end of the working day Europe time, which is the morning in America, which completely leaves out Asia and Australia. And we're aware of that. So this is an experiment, and we really appreciate your feedback on whether you found that helpful. For example, I don't know if it's the Kimberly who's commenting today, if that's the same Kimberly that sometimes watches at 3 in the morning her time from, it was either Australia or New Zealand. So I know there are people who have been very committed. So I'd like to know how useful it is to do this time, or whether we should stick to the more America friendly time in future, or alternate, or whatever.
All right. Yeah, so get your questions into the comments and we will proceed with WooCommerce Product Table. All right. So I'm just going to present this one. Yes, that's the one. Good. There we go. So WooCommerce Product Table recently got the big update 4.0. The main update there was on the back end, but one of the other things that got updated is the total column. So obviously, just as a quick overview, you can see we have our products listed in this table format rather than the typical grid layout that you get on a shop page. So in one case, you could replace your normal shop page layout with this table format, which a lot of people do. or you have the option to add tables to really any page on your site, and you can customize those tables to your liking. You can include some products, all products, certain categories, etc., etc. And speaking of categories, there are filters for categories. You can add tags as well as other attributes, like in our case, color. You can display many different columns, including the ones that you see here. And the new column is this total one. So, for example, if I select two of these or three of these items, we have a total of 60 for that item. And then down here, we can see a total of 60. And the absolute grand total is up here on this button here. I just said here twice. I do that a lot when I'm talking. And yeah, so this is the basic layout, but you can get as refined or specific as you like. There's even a music website that I'm making a video about right now, where they used WooCommerce Product Table to list the image, like for the album, and then the name of the track, and then there's a play button, and so you can play the music in the table. That requires an integration with one other plugin, but the point is, it's very versatile. All right, so let's get into the questions.
Okay, so is it possible to customize the color and layout with WooCommerce Product Table? I will show you what's possible now, and I will also tell you what we've got planned to improve on that. I think this is, yeah, that's the right screen to share. So this is a screenshot of the settings page from WooCommerce Product Table, where by default, the radio button that says default is selected, which means that we control the styling. Actually, your theme does to a large extent, because a lot of the things like the fonts and the colors and stuff come from your theme, so that the product table automatically integrates really nicely with the rest of your website and doesn't look bolted on. If you choose, you can change that radio button to custom, and then there are lots of options that allow you to change things like the colors and the in different parts of the table and the fonts and things like that. So that gives you more options of what you can change. In addition to that, we're planning to improve on this page, and we've just signed off the designs for some pre-built templates for WooCommerce Product Table, so that this page will change and allow you to choose a template first, which will be a look of a product table that you like. So there'll be like a minimal one, a dark one, a kind of nature themed one with lots of rounded corners and buttons and things. So all different styles of product table. So you'll select a template, and that will pre-populate all the design options you can see below, so that you can then tweak that further. So let's say you like the rounded template, but it's bright blue and that's not your brand color. You just change the colors without losing the rounding aspects of the template that you like. So that's what we will be adding in hopefully the coming months. But I said I would never talk about timescales. We've just finished the design for this and the how it will work behind the scenes, and now we need to code it basically before it can go live. And the question also asked about the layout of the table. This touches more on what Sam was demonstrating a minute ago, where you can choose your columns. So it will always be a table layout. That is the purpose of the plugin, but you can choose your columns within the table. And also, if you're inserting it using a block, or if you're using the block editor or a shortcode, you can put it within your wider page layout. So let's say you've created a 2-column page using Elementor or the block editor or whatever, then you might only put the product table in the left-hand column and have text in the right or whatever. So you can integrate it into your wider designed page layout.
Nice one. Now, next we have a question from, this one is from Shahar. And let's just read through first. I would like to achieve the same functionality like this website. Is there a way to achieve it? So first of all, I will share that site so we can see what it looks like. So just to describe for everyone what you're seeing here, there is a product table, not so different from the one that we have. And you can see the name of the product here. And these look like small variations on the similar product. So you can see there's just a quantity size or size difference. And then this
That
is
looks like the
telling us,
separate variations option, doesn't it?
yeah, exactly. So each separate variation is on a new row, which is something that our table can do. So every single variation of a product could have its own row in the table, or you can set it as a drop-down list, just like the default functionality in WooCommerce. The case of is just a quantity, so it's just saying that this case contains 1,000 units, and the price. It also has this additional discounted price based on the order total, which I'll get into in a second. And then here is a quantity box where you enter a quantity, and then you can click Add to Carts. Uh, just from a user perspective, I didn't realize that this wasn't a button. So once I clicked on it, I figured out what to do, but it wasn't very obvious at first. Finally, over here on the left, we have filters. So you can filter by how big the width and the length that you need. So to recreate this actually wouldn't be too difficult. First of all, the basic table columns are all supported by our plugin. And it would just be a matter of checking the box to show each variation as an individual row, like we mentioned. This case of could be simply a custom taxonomy, or you could figure out a way to, um, yeah, I think you would have to create a custom taxonomy and then link that in. Katie, can you elaborate on that? Because I'm not sure how to get this 1,000 or maybe 4,000. In this case,
Yeah.
this is. Mhm.
You would need to add that as a field on your product. That could, if you're not using, say, the short description for anything else, you could just stick it in the short description, add a short description column to the table and rename it to case of. Or if you don't have any fields lying around doing nothing, then you could install a plugin like Advanced Custom Fields or our own Easy Post Types and Fields plugin,
Mhm.
both of which are free. Use it to add a custom field to your products, and then you could add the case information and display that as a column in the table. So basically any data on your products you can display as a column. So you need to just find a field, add it there and display that as a column in the table with the correct name.
Mhm. Yeah. And in terms of the filters, there are several options. There is a default widget that you can use in WordPress, uh, but we would obviously recommend our WooCommerce Product Filters plugin because you have way more filters and way more options, and they just look better and work better. So shameless plug there. We have a filter plugin. We recommend it. But if all you're looking for is some very basic options, then you should be able to find that within the widgets in WordPress. And finally, this little price adjustment, if you can see that on the live stream. Yes, you can. Okay, good. I'll show you one integration that we have, which is to integrate with our Discount Manager plugin. So if you're operating a bunch of different discounts on your shop anyway, you probably need to use a Discount Manager plugin. R1 integrates with WooCommerce Product Table in a number of different ways. One option is to show this discount table so you can see the quantity, price per item, and the discount percentage. And this could be something that you could display somewhere else on the page, or you can display it within the table as well. And one other idea I just had is to use our quick view option. So
Yeah.
you could potentially integrate the quick view to display these more details. Maybe you could just have a banner or something above the table which describes the discount percentage, but it might be different per product. So you could also use quick view to integrate it that way.
Yeah, I like that. So that would add a quick view column to the table. The customer would click the quick view button for a product, and then the table of tiered pricing, the quantity based pricing table, would appear in a light box, which clicking the quick view button launches. So that's a nice way to do it.
And you
And
could
the third
modify
option I do,
Oh, sorry, and you could modify the quick view button to say like discount options or discount offers.
Yeah, and you can choose what product data to display in the quick view. So you could hide things like the image and whatever. If you didn't want to display other stuff, you just were displaying the
Mhm.
part with the price, so pricing table. So that could work. And I had one other thought as well while you were showing that screen, which was you could create a custom field and for the price column that we see here. And that would give you a lot more flexibility than using the price column in WooCommerce Product Table. So the price column just displays the price, whereas with a custom field, you could manually add the price for each product. But then you could also add stuff like a tooltip with a hover effect or something like that. There's lots of WordPress tooltip plugins, or your page builder might have that. You'd need to do a bit of testing to check it was compatible with the JavaScript in WooCommerce Product Table, and in case there was anything conflicting with the hover thing. But in theory, you could do it that way as well.
One other thing to note is how the buy column works in our table. So you can add a buy button. I don't actually have a table loaded with that functionality, but there could be a button here for buying, or you could just have the quantity box. But notice when I check this box here, it adds the amount in the quantity box. Or if I add multiple items, it checks the box automatically for me. So it's a little bit more seamless in that sense that no matter what the customer does, whether they add +1 here or they check the box here, it's going to add it to the total. Um, and then when you have the buy button, you can also have just one or the other. So it could just be a button or it could be the checkbox, but you can also have both. So somebody could click the buy button or they could check the box and they could still add the quantity in either case. So yeah, I'm not sure if I have a table. Maybe on this site I have one. Uh, no, that's the same one. Okay, never mind.
Okay,
Uh,
so I think that is all the questions. We've got a comment from A to Z saying very high quality plugins. So thank you very much. I'm glad you like them. We don't have any other questions at the moment, so I think we can finish off.
oh, that's all right. Yeah. Well, we're planning already our next live stream in October, and we hope you guys want to jump on and join us for that, as we will have new updates to share, as well as plans for the end of the year, which is always a very busy time for us. Hint, hint. And I've got some great stuff coming up on the YouTube channel. I just switched to recording in 4K and uploading higher quality with this better background. And so I'm very excited about the work that's happening right now on YouTube. So hope you guys can find us there, subscribe, and enjoy the new videos that are coming out. Anything from you, Katie?
No, so yeah, thanks for watching, everybody, and we look forward to seeing you next month. Bye.
Bye bye.